I don't think I've actually ever said this explicitly, but the book genre that I'm most comfortable reading is, of course, romance. So in today's video, I'm gonna share with you the 7 romance book series that I cannot wait to continue on. I've read the first book in this series and I just love it. I fall in love with the character and the characters that are coming in the next book in the series. So let's just go ahead and get started. So the first book series that I am super excited to continue on is the Kiss Quotient series by Helen Hong. There are 3 books total in the series. I have read this first one. This one is about Stella and Michael. Stella has Asperger's syndrome and she wants to learn a little bit more about dating and intimacy. So she decided to hire a professional escort, Michael, to kind of teach her the way and coach her. And the second book is The Heart Principle. This one is gonna be about Anna and Kwan. Kwan is actually Michael's cousin in the first book, and we learn a little bit about Kwan, and I cannot wait to learn what is his story and his love story with Anna. The last and third book is called The Bride Test. This is about Kai and Esme. Kai is again Michael's cousin and Kwan's, I think, little brother. And the FMC, her name is Esme. She is mixed race living in the slums of Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam. And I cannot wait how they get together because Kai lives in the US, I believe. I think they're in San Francisco, if I'm not mistaken. And I cannot wait to read the last 2 books in the book series. And let me know in the comment below if you guys have read it and what your thoughts are about these 3 books. The second book series that I cannot wait to continue on is the Skyland series by Kennedy Ryan. I did read Before I Let Go probably in the last few months, and I just fall in love with her writing as well as just her characters and the story of these characters. On the first book, we learn about Yasmin and Josiah. They were married for a long time. They have lived their life. They have 2 kids and a business together. But because of grief and just other struggles, they decided to separate. But because they're still in contact with each other every single day, they're starting to question whether or not separating is the best decision for them. The second book is called This Could Be Us. This is gonna be about Soledad and Judah, I believe. We learn about Soledad or Soul in the first book because these 3 books is about 3 women who are best friends and living in Skyland. I cannot wait to read this book. I think Soul has, I want to say 2 or 3 kids. Her kids are also friends with Yasmin's kids from the first book, so we kind of learn about her and her family a little bit. And the third one is called Can't Get Enough, and this is about Hendrix and Maverick. I am super excited to read this book because I think I'm gonna relate the most with Hendrix because Hendrix has that rich auntie vibes. Some of her life decisions is similar to what I decided for my life, so I cannot wait to read this book. There are only 3 books, like I said, in the series, and I cannot wait to read about Soul and Hendrix and hopefully catch up with what is Yasmin up to in the last 2 books in the series. The next book that I am excited to continue, I don't even think this is technically a series, but I know the author has said that if you want to read the second book, you definitely want to read the first book, and that is Every Summer After, and the companion book is One Golden Summer. I recently read Every Summer After in the summer, and it is about Percy, Sam, and Charlie. Sam and Charlie Florrick are brothers. Percy's family has a cottage that is next to the Florrick brothers. They basically hang out for summer because Percy lives in the city, the Florrick brothers live in Barry's Bay, and basically this kind of goes through the relationship between Percy and Sam when they were little, when they were teenagers, until they're an adult. And in the beginning of the book, it was mentioned that they have lost touch, but then Charlie, the older brother, reach out to Percy to come back to Barry's Bay because their mom just passed away. This book, One Golden Summer, it's about Alice, who is a photographer, and when she was a teenager, she also spent, I think, 1 summer in Barry's Bay and accidentally took a picture of Percy, Charlie, and Sam on their famous yellow speedboat. And I guess that is how Alice's career as a photographer started. And in this book, we are gonna learn about how Charlie and Alice's path kind of cross at Barry's Bay once again. You definitely want to read this first before picking this book up, just because we learn so much about Charlie in this book. And if you decided to read this first without reading this book, I feel like you might lose a little bit of Charlie's background. I've not read One Golden Summer just yet, so I'm not really sure if we really go deeper into Charlie's like backstory in this book. So I highly recommend reading Every Summer After first before reading One Golden Summer. I get why people don't like this book, because what happened kind of like toward the end of the book, it's not throughout the book. So I think you will still enjoy it either way, but I totally understand why it happened. I guess what I can say is people make mistakes. I cannot wait to pick up One Golden Summer, and I want to just learn about how Charlie has grown up. And I know that summer is over already, so I'm probably gonna pick this up next summer. The next kind of like book series, it's similar to Every Summer After and One Golden Summer, being that they're not technically part of a series. You can read them in however order you want to, but it is highly recommended to read the first book, and it is XOXO and SAP by Axio. I read XOXO pretty recently, and I just love this book so much. If you love K-pop and just the story about how to become a K-pop idol, the training journey and stuff like that, I think you would love this book. It is about Jae-woo, who is a K-pop idol who goes to this high school in Korea, and about Jenny, who is a violinist, I believe, or cellist, and because of a family circumstance, she has to kind of finish her high school in Korea, and that is how both of the characters meet. Actually, they met before, but they just continue on their friendship in Korea when they met again at this boarding school for artists and singers in South Korea, which is actually really cool. If you love XO Kitty by Jenny Han, the show, I think you would love this book as well. And the second book, or the companion book, is called ASAP. I definitely would highly recommend reading XOXO first before reading ASAP, because the main characters in this book was mentioned quite a lot actually in XOXO, and this is just the continuous story from the first book about these two characters. It still has something to do with K-pop, K-pop idols, and the boarding school that all of the characters go to. And because I love XOXO so much, I cannot wait to continue on reading ASAP. Hopefully sometime soon, if not early next year. But I just love Axi's writing, and she's actually a local author. She lives in Vegas. I've actually met her a couple times, like one at Las Vegas Book Festival and second at a author event for another author at one of the Henderson libraries, but I didn't really like talk to her or anything. But anyways, I love the book, I love her writings, and honestly she has been writing a lot of YA books, and I cannot wait until the day she finally write an adult romance book or something, because I think she's gonna do so good, and I'm probably gonna love those books as well. The next book series that I'm gonna talk about is Bright, and made by Ailey Hazelwood. This is a paranormal romance novel. This one, the first one, Bright, I think came out last year, and this is Ailey's first paranormal books that she's ever written, and it's also my first vampire werewolves romance novel that I've ever read, and I recently finished this probably just a few days ago, and I love it so much. The storyline is good. There's also some kind of like tense situations, because if you know a little bit about like the vampire werewolf human, I don't know, politics, I guess, they are always tense. At least that's the way it was described in this book. So we have some kind of like a little bit of mystery also in this book, and kind of like a whodunit type of thing, and it was just kind of interesting. So because I love this book so much, and I know this second book was also pretty hyped up, I decided to pre-order it, and I'm gonna try my best to read it probably before the end of the year. I'm not sure if I want to prioritize this, because I have other Ailey Hazelwood's books that I want to read first, but it would be nice, I think, to read this and then kind of like be done with the book series. But then again, I'm not really sure if these are gonna be the only 2 books in the series, because I know that there are other characters that I feel like might be a good main character for a 3rd book or something. So I'm not sure if I read Mate, if I'll be done with the whole book series. The next book series that I want to talk about, I think it's called Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. There are 3 books in the series, and I already have all 3 of them on hand. This one is about Alexis and Daniel. Alexis is an ER doctor, and she works at this hospital where her family has really big legacy, and she was expected to eventually become a surgeon because that's what her parents want her to be. But she's actually pretty comfortable in the ER department, and she doesn't really want to do anything else because she loves her job. She used to date one of the surgeons, the famous surgeon in this hospital, and her parents totally approve of him, even though he is not a good boyfriend. I think they decided to break it off, and she actually met Daniel one night when she was going home from like a funeral or something, and her car didn't start or got stuck or something. But anyways, Daniel is actually 10 years younger than Alexis, and usually reverse age gap romance trope is just not something I would read or I would pick up, because in real life I cannot see myself being with someone who is 10 years younger than me. However, that trope in this book just works really well. I don't know how Abby Jimenez did it, but she did it. I feel like it's because Daniel is just so much more mature than Alexis's ex-boyfriend, who is way older than the both of them, and he just really knows what Alexis needs. He's very nurturing and very caring, and that is just what any woman would ask anyway from her partner. So I love this book, and I cannot wait to read the 2nd and the 3rd book. The second one in the series, I believe, is Yours Truly, and then Just for the Summer is the 3rd book. Honestly, I decided to actually read Part of Your World because I want to read Just for the Summer, and even though they are standalone series and you can read it however order you want to, it is still highly recommended to actually read the 1st book first, because you learn about the other characters in these 2 books in the 1st book. The last book series that I want to continue is the Lucky River Ranch series. I read the 1st book, Cash, I think a few months ago. This is a small town cowboy romance, and I was in the mood to read one, I think a few months ago, and a lot of people obviously mention the Blue Ranch series by Lila Sage and some other ones, but for some reason other people also mentioned this book. I've never heard of this book before. I know this was independently published, I think a few years ago when it first came out, and then now it got picked up by Bloom. I think that's how the story goes. But anyways, I decided to pick it up because I was able to find it at Walmart. One time I was walking around Walmart, and it comes with the sprayed edges, and I know people hated sprayed edges on paperback, but I love it. I'm here for it. So I decided to read it, pick it up, and I think the story is really cute. It is about Molly, whose dad just passed away and he owned a ranch, and because Molly is the only daughter that he has, the ranch was supposed to go to her. But the thing is, she's never lived in the ranch. She's been living in the city with her mom ever since her parents kind of got separated. But she decided to go back to kind of figure things out with, I think, her dad's lawyer. But when she was there, she met the ranch hand, I think that's what it's called, and his name is Cash. And of course, one of the stipulations for Molly to get the ranch is for her to live in the ranch for a whole year. And because Cash works at the ranch, they kind of have to figure things out on how to work things out together. And of course, because this is a cowboy romance, they are going to get attracted to each other, and the story goes from there. I feel like when I was reading this book, everything is just so cute and super swoony, and of course steamy, and I just love this book. I think the whole book series has 5 books total because Cash is a part of 5 brothers. He is the oldest one. I did pre-order the rest of the books because I wanted the pretty sprayed edges ones, but only the second one, which is Wyatt. I think he is the second brother, if I'm not mistaken, but this book is already out in the cute special edition, so I got my hands on it because obviously I want to keep going and continue reading this book series. This one is about Wyatt and Sally. And I think we learn about Sally in the first book. She is the veterinarians in this town. Her dad is basically the main vet, but because she just graduated, I believe, and she wants to kind of get, like a more hands-on experience, she decided to kind of go back, I think in the summer or something, and work with her dad, taking care of the farm animals around this small town. And Wyatt and Sally, I believe, are friends since they were kids. They kind of grew up together because she is from this same small town and she moved away when she went to college. And I feel like something's gonna happen there. Attraction, sparks fly, whatever. I cannot wait to read this and hopefully finish the series because there are 3 other books, I believe. So those are all of the 7 romance book series that I cannot wait to continue on reading. Let me know in the comment below if you guys have read any of these book series and convince me on which one to read first, because I know all of these are great series and I want to know which one is your favorite so I can start reading it hopefully soon.